the channel. I'm J, and we are locked in. This is the recap for episode 2 of Raising Kanan, and another great episode. I like the direction that we're going in. We're starting to see Kanan actually develop into a young mastermind himself, and he's piecing the game together, and it's making us realize that James St. Patrick has really learned the game from Kanan, and he just scaled it up. And it's looking like Kanan might potentially pass where his mama was, and we know that the mob, oh man, it's about to be a frenzy in these streets because Marvin went through with that hit. Now, before we jump into this and we break down this episode and give the recap, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, after show discussions where we break down each individual character, then hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm on that road to 45,000 subscribers, so each and every one of you, I appreciate you. And if you don't see this video at 100 likes right now, then hit that like button. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. This is a recap for episode 2 of Raising Kanan.
You the heir to this throne, Kanan, and it's waiting for you, if you want it.
We start the episode off at Rock's house, and Unique is still here. It's been about 2 weeks, and he's trying to get as close as he can to Rock. Now she's saying there's a lot you don't know about me, and he's saying if you need me to discipline Kanan because you won't let no one close, then I'll take my belt off and do it. But this meal that they're having, sharing the ice cream, is abruptly interrupted because some figures with ski masks, they enter into the house and they tell them no talking, but you're coming with us. And that has to be one of the most scariest feelings to ever get kidnapped while you're in your drawers, especially when you don't have your gun on you. Marvin and Lulu are at the club because Lulu is still drunk and doesn't want anything to do with Raquel. Marvin, on the other hand, he's just playing it cool, but he's peeping that Lulu's a little drunk and there's 2 white men that keep watching him. Now, Lulu, I'm talking drunk out of his mind. He's tripping, going at it with the waiter. Lulu, he's out of control. Marvin, he breaks it up, but those white guys that were looking at Marvin, they end up following him into a bathroom. Now, Marvin, he's aware of the situation and his surroundings, so he has his gun. And these 2 gentlemen, they're really just here to buy drugs. And they stereotype Marvin into seeing a black guy with chains on, thinking that he's selling drugs. Well, fortunately, Marvin does sell drugs, and he's telling them, give me a pen and I'll give you my number. And next time you go out, you can buy some drugs from me. So Marvin is trying to start another side hustle while Lulu is just drunk. Rock and Unique were kidnapped by Stefano. When they get there, Stefano goes at it with Unique. They make some jokes on each other's name, Mr. Unusual and Mr. Linguini. They punch Unique and they get him up out of there because Stefano really wants to talk to Raquel about a potential hit on Sal Borsellini, the mob boss in New Jersey. Now, he's telling her, you work for me. You take care of Sal, because in the mob, we have rules. We can't kill another mob boss unless we get agreements from all of the families, and they're not going to do that. But Raquel, if you take out Sal, you have my word. You can move freely and do what you need to do inside of New York, and I won't come after your family. But if you don't kill Sal, then I'm going to come after your family. So this leaves Raquel with one choice and one choice only, but to set up a hit to potentially take out Sal. Detective Howard shows up to our girl Shannon Burke's funeral, R.I.P. Now he's giving a speech. Across the street, we seen Jukebox watching because she had a relationship with Shannon also. But when he's in here, he has to fake it and make it appear that he actually cares that Burke is gone, because we all know that he took Burke out because she had too much information. Sam, Raquel, Kanan, everything led back to Marvin. Well, he's in here and he's doing a hell of a job, and everyone's believing exactly what he's saying. So for him, he's going to have to stay low key. And we also find out that 3 more people are being released from jail, and Captain tells Howard, anything that you find on Detective Burke, you need to tell me before the family and the news get a hold of this, because it's already a lot of publicity, bad publicity, that's on the police force from the suicide and the manufacturing of evidence by crooked cops. We see that Jukebox is officially trying to join the military. We seen her show up at Shannon's funeral, but she didn't go in. Now she just wants to get out of New York as fast as possible, and that route might be joining the military. Her guidance counselor told her about that, and for her, she's looking at it, this is an opportunity for me to just get out of the city. But unfortunately, she has to fill out paperwork and do an ASVAB test to just see where she qualifies for it as far as getting a job. But she wants to move ASAP and get out of here. Kanan and Famous have been trying to pay the rent. So when they're moving through the apartment building, they see kids coming in and out. There's a white guy named Paul that lives in Polymer's old apartment, the girl that Kanan used to mess with. They moved out, he moved in. He has a courier service. You pick up a package from him, you drop it off, you get paid about $60 a day. Now, Kanan and Famous, they're listening to that, and that's not real money. So Kanan just wants to know, what all do you do? How do you make this happen? Because if you know someone else's hustle, you can apply your hustle to that hustle and bring those hustles together and have the ultimate hustle. And that's exactly what Kanan is planning to do because rent is due. Raquel has told Marvin that they got to do this hit on Sal. Now, he also wants to take some of that work that he got from Baisley Projects and put it back in the streets. But back at the house, he ends up talking to Nicole's father, Mr. Bingham, and he's talking about the VHS tape that Jukebox and Nicole did together and how Jukebox has a wonderful voice. These two, they built a relationship, and you see that Marvin and Mr. Bingham have a close relationship and they actually like each other. Only to find out when Juke gets here from the army recruiter, she doesn't want to sing anymore. So Marvin is a little confused, and so is Mr. Bingham. But he really wants her to be in this girl group because he said that this is what Nikki would want. But we know Jukebox really wants to leave the city. We see Kanan walking outside, and he's trying to find his way in the game. We already know about the hustle trying to work with Paul. But his mom shows up with a Mustang, and she's basically offering it to him as a peace offering and get him back on her side. But that's what I said in the intro. It's good that Kanan doesn't accept this car because we're seeing him start to develop his own mind and do his own thing. Because as long as you're under Rock, you're under her control. Now, he does ask her about Detective Burke and saying, I heard it was a suicide. And he's saying, I don't believe that it's a suicide. But Raquel is saying, that's what cops do. They take themselves out. But do you want this car, Kanan? And Kanan knows that every time Rock talks, it's a lie. So he tells her, no, I don't want the car. He hops out and just leaves it where it is. Raquel ends up going to talk to Juliana because this conversation needs to be had. When she gets there, they try to pat her down, but she tells them, nah. Long story short, she goes in here and lets Juliana know, I'm not scared of you and you know who I am. And I know exactly who you are. I used to buy bubble gum from you. So I will no longer be working with you. I'm out the game. Now, Juliana, she's looking at it as, no, something is up her sleeve. She's got to be working with somebody. Now, her cousin, he's not getting involved in any of this beef, and he's saying, Juliana, chill. We don't need Raquel. And if she needs some work, she can always come back to us because he's thinking business. He doesn't want any issues. If you're out the game, you're out the game. This episode, we've seen a little more of Ronnie. Now, they're saying that Ronnie is weird because he was in the house ironing his clothes. He was watching the TV, but the lights was off. Well, when he comes to the club, him and his brother, he kind of gets into it with the bouncer at the front door because he's not meeting the dress code requirements. Now, this isn't going to hold over for him because he's been in jail wrongfully convicted of a crime he did not commit. But once he gets inside the club, he's not letting that beef go. The ladies are trying to touch on him. He doesn't want anything to do with them. Unique is trying to calm him down. But his primary focus is getting at this bouncer. This bouncer messed up and called him a convict and told him to get with the times. And they call Ronnie crazy for a reason. You remember, Kanan said he is the guy that the crazy people avoid. So Ronnie, we got to look out for him. Kanan finally breaks down his business plan with Paul. He's telling Paul, listen, you got the couriers. I can get the drugs. I give the drugs to y'all. You drive them off for me. I pay you 25% plus a bonus, and we play the drivers. This way, Kanan, all he has to do is do the re-up, get the product, send the product through Paul. Paul send it through the couriers, and that way, everyone's making money. And he's saying they can make 2 to 3 times more than what they were already making. And that was roughly $60 a day. So just think $60 a day to $180 a day. That's a huge come up right there. So Paul, he doesn't accept it, but Kanan tells him, don't take forever because we definitely need to make this happen if you're trying to get some real money. Now, the feds have notified Sal that there's a potential hit on him, and we're still trying to figure out who told the feds that there's going to be a hit on Sal. Well, Stefano gave the information, and they know that his grandchild is getting baptized. And well, Marvin pulls up. He stole a mail truck earlier. He shows up, and when Sal comes out after the baptism, well, he gets to action. Pow! He takes out Sal. Pow! He takes out one of the guards. He runs off. Marvin gets a sweet getaway, and guess who's driving? Demo, the same one that picked him up after he got shot when they left the Baisley Project at the end of season 2. All right, there you go. To recap for episode 2. Let me know what you thought about it. What is your ratings? And who was the MVP of episode 2? We know Marvin really put in that work, and Kanan is starting to blossom. So let me know what you think. I'm Modi J. I appreciate all of y'all. If I said something to make you go, hit that subscribe button. We on that road to 45,000 subscribers. So each and every one of you count. Hit that like button if you don't see it at 100 likes. Thanks for watching. I'm out.